What is bowls, and why do people have a biased view on it?
Welcome to the Don't Be Biased Bowls documentary. This is Ivy Bowls Club. Let me show you around. So first, let me introduce you to Neil. He's the head of the green team.
Morning.
Him, and along with Gordon and other volunteers, help maintain the surface that we play on. It's the most valuable asset that any club can have. Tell me a bit about yourself.
My name's Neil Shearer. I'm 56. I'm the head greenkeeper at Ivy Heath Bowls Club. I play bowls at a competitive level and also at club level. I think it has a biased view because normally from years ago it's always been thought of as an older person's sport. You look at nowadays, you look at it on the telly, you've got people in their teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s and going up. Nowadays it is becoming a younger sport. It's important to keep the bowls green in the best condition we can because people want to bowl on a nice flat surface. We want to have other clubs come here and enjoy the surface. We've got county players, county teams that come and ask to play on our green as a neutral green. And also, if people enjoy bowling here, they will come back, they will spend money behind the bar and bring visitors as well.
So now I'd like you to meet Gordon. He is the bar chairman and he manages the bar. This is essential for the club as it gives revenue on days such as charity games, county games and Denny-side matches. And along with bowling, people like to have a nice cold pint while they're playing bowls. This is helped along by Gordon.
Hi, James.
Introduce yourself.
Right, I'm Gordon Mowat. I'm the bar chairman, also part of the green team.
Why does bowls have a biased view?
I think it's the impression that they've had for years that it is an old man's game. And it's the impression that when you used to see bowls being played, it's mainly being played during the day by people who've retired. So that gives the impression that it is an old man's game. Well, there's a great feeling at the club. There's a good friendliness at the club. My wife and I both retired early, so it was something we actually found that we could both do together and play the game together and enjoy the company of other people. And we both sort of embraced it a little bit by being on the committee, bar, the green team. So it's sort of, it's just total enjoyment. It's such a friendly club that we belong to, and everybody's friendly, and all the games are being played in a friendly manner. So you get a lot of companionship and sort of friendships out of it. I think it's great.
So bowls is a game played on either grass, which is out there, which is also known as the green, or carpet, which is indoors, a bit like Herger or Hounslow. There's 4 types of games you can play. You can play singles, which is on your own, pairs, which is 2 people, triples as 3, and a rink, which consists of 4 players. The game in simple terms is you bowl the jack at the beginning of the end, which is the little white ball, and you bowl your wood, which is also known as a bowl, towards the jack. You can either go on your forehand or your backhand, but the aim of the game is to get your woods closest to the jack. This is a wood, also known as the bowl. It has a bias side, which is this side, which gives it the turn, so you can either come on your forehand or your backhand. It should always stay in the middle, otherwise you're going to do a wrong bias and it's going to fly off the green. This is why the documentary has quite a good name, because bowling people would understand the bowls term, the biased, and I think a lot of you have a biased view over what bowls is. People just think it's a bunch of pensioners that come down to the bowls club and play bowls, when really it's not. Because I mean, I'm still working and I'm at college and I'm not a pensioner. I know lots of people that are 20, 30 that play bowls. So the fact that people have a biased view of it isn't really that good. And with this documentary, I'm trying to change that.
Hello, my name's Elizabeth Hemsley. I've belonged to the Ivy Heath Bowls Club for nearly 20 years now, and I like to think that this is my domain. I may not be a very good bowler, but we can turn out a mean bowls tea. We can make a sandwich, Oregon chips, so nobody goes hungry at Ivy Heath. Well, I think people traditionally have thought of bowls as an older person's sport. But it's not an older people's sport. There are people of all ages and all abilities can play. It's something that everybody can get involved with. Well, I'm not only the cook, I'm also the secretary of our bowls club. And through the Bowls England website, you can find out all about not only our club, but all the other local clubs that may be near you that you may wish to try.
As I'm a young bowler, I have received a lot of criticism for starting to play bowls. The main comment is that it's an old person's sport and only pensioners play bowls. It is sad that people think this way, as if really, if they were to go to any bowls club, they'd find that young people play. I would like to bring up the point that what do people really define as old? I know bowlers who are 80 years of age, and they bowl as well as people in their 40s, so why define these people by their age? Someone that might know about the biased view is Terry Keane. She is currently the president of Bowls England.
There's awful lot of people out there that think that bowls is a really boring game, don't want to get involved in it. But actually it's a very forthcoming game now, especially for the young. I actually formed a junior academy, an under-18 junior academy in Bucks 6 years ago now, nearly 7, which has been hugely successful. I've had children as young as 7 attend it. And last year at Leamington, I was the Senior Vice President of Bowls England, and I was watching a thing called the White Rose, which is 8 of the under-25s in our county boys. And 3 of my academy members were playing, and they won a national title. By winning national titles, these children can then look forward to maybe international status, something you can't say too much of in other sports. I think bowls clubs have got to change their attitude, mainly to young people coming into the club. In past years, they've just looked at them as a nuisance on the green, because I think basically they've been isolated. Children have come into a club with granddad, and they're the only one under 45 or 50 years old. And yes, they are going to swig on their can of Coke as they're walking up and down the green, and yes, they are going to sit on the edges, which you carefully manicured. But that's mainly because they're not being taught how to behave before they go out on the green. I think we've got to open up our minds to young people, take them in and train them, not to the silly degree that we all are, but that the green is important and that manners and etiquette are very important. But we've also got to encourage them on with making it fun for them. Lots of clubs aren't really open-minded these days, but several are beginning to open up. We've got things going on now, big bowls weekends. Now, that is the time to encourage the young people into this sport. You should have at least one rink free, so that there's somebody younger on that rink, encouraging the young people to get on and see what fun it can be. The attitude has got to change. I do understand that there's a lot of bias towards bowls because they are not welcoming the children in, but I think the big bowls weekend will be a great help to get us along the line and getting better.
Someone who is in the same boat as me, Tom McGuinness, started playing bowls when he was young, and he was a young bowler. Despite comments people made, he decided to pursue his sport that he enjoyed, and now is possibly playing for England soon. He's been selected to play for the British Isles, which is really one of the highest competitions you can do in the UK. His dad is John McGuinness, and it looks like he's following in the footsteps of him.
Hi, I'm Tom McGuinness. I bowl for Gerrards Cross, Buckinghamshire and England. I think bowls definitely has a bad stereotype. I think it is one of those sports which is really inclusive. I think when people actually do come down, it is very addicting, and I brought many of my friends and they love it, not just for the bar but for actually playing bowls as well. I've made friends for life, and I think that more people should give it a go.
Hi guys, I'm Michael Gom, I'm 25, I'm a maths teacher at a local school. I've bowled at Gerrards Cross and I also bowl for Buckinghamshire. I've been bowling for 14 years, so I started when I was 11. And what I get out of bowls, I've made loads of friends through different ages, so from my age right the way up, and just a whole completely different life in summer. Don't knock it before you tried it. I mean, I was only 11 when I came down for my first experience of bowls, and I've been hooked ever since. I got into bowls from my granddad, so he took me and one of my friends down to the club, and we literally just had a quick practice, a little bit of fun, and the next season we were full members.
And what about you?
Got into bowls through my dad. I've been watching bowls pretty much since I was born. I remember fitting in my dad's trophy once when I was probably that big. I also started when I was 11.
Who's better?
Tom, 100%. Although I am unbeaten against him in 3 years.
Michael is my bogey player, so he does better in the county singles than me. But
although he's won more, I've not lost to him in 3 years.
When people join a bowls club, it's not all just to play bowls. They also join for the social side. We recently spent a week in Calpe, southern Spain, where we bowled there in a tournament. All who went had a great time. I've made some of my best friends through starting bowls, and I think people shouldn't have a strong opinion on something just because they've never tried it. You should never have a negative view on anything, and you should definitely not have a negative view in bowls if you've never tried it. And crucially, you should not be biased.
Guess I got what I deserve. Kept you waiting there too long, my love.
Don't be biased.